early today. God fucking damn it. Y'all can't stop me. I just realized it is way too late in my room for what I'm trying to do to work, but I'm gonna do it anyway. My hair feels so short since the last time I did it like this. I'm waiting in silence because I'm early. I think the Discord bot knows, or it just went down. I don't know it yet. I'm gonna wait. Is it down? It's not down. Oh boy. I wonder if you guys can hear the birds. I don't have a noise gate on, so you definitely can. I'm gonna turn it back on. Actually relatively quiet today. Normally they're louder, which is why I hate streaming when it's warm. I'm not doing myself any favors. I look like I'm bracing for the cold with this, but I promise I'm not bracing for the cold. I'm wearing shorts. So I cannot possibly be bracing for the cold. I'm just wearing a weird fucking outfit. Oh my god. It did it. It sent the notification. That's crazy. I should have started late this time. Once I just showed Facebook on the stream. All my Facebook is just like my great aunt will post some like nonsense, and I get anime recommendations on Facebook now. It is pretty rough. It's not really rough. I actually get decent recommendations or whatever from it. So my bit for today is this is the first time I've went live with a discussion stream since a Lo-Fi Boy existed. So I figured I would wear a Lo-Fi Boy fit. And by that I mean I was already wearing this, I just thought of the coincidence and I played it for music, so I don't know. Just doing a good job at entertaining myself, really. Okay, I'm gonna gather some notes. Notes, I say loosely. I want to... Okay. There are 3 things I want to pull up. before I say anything. I should have done this beforehand, but fuck it. Okay, I found something that I didn't really think of, but it's good for this. I didn't find the other thing, so. Okay. I have some TAWS stuff. I can find Tetralympic on my, and I think on this. Can't find. Tetralympic. And all the woodwork stuff. What's up, doggo? Pulling things up. Then need one more bracket before I can start babbling. Babbling, babble, Wait. Okay. Banger. Okay, the concept of this, alright. This is more interesting than I thought, so I'm gonna, alright, so here we are. By the way, what's up everyone? How's it going? I have a variety of words to give you today. But, I've just been fucking Googling. So, how's everyone doing? Wait, I forgot a thing. Damn it. I guess I could pull this up too. Dude, Google Drive, I don't need a tutorial for your new layout that looks exactly the same. Please. It's all Diet Pepsi. We have a can today. It's kind of crazy. What's up, Johnny Bones? But yeah, what we buy is whatever the better sale is. And the better sale this time was a 24-pack of cans rather than 6 packs of tall Diet Pepsi. It is kind of a travesty, but I mean, god damn it, that's capitalism. I don't know what to say. But yeah, rank cap tournaments are pretty crazy. This is mainly a Tetria topic because we don't really have a lot of this so far for PPT or TEC. I mean, TEC had the TEC WC, but that's like, man. That kind of worked a bit like Prism. It's also just very large, and the brackets, man. Does anyone know if those are still going on, or did Shen finally close up the shop? Or like, are they still trying to play? I don't know if anyone's aware. I think they stopped before Shen. Yeah, fair. I mean, yeah. Shen, I'm sure, has more to do at work, but damn. Dropped out big time when they changed the format. Yeah. It's just hard to keep that many people engaged over that many brackets if you don't have, like, several staff just dedicated to making sure that people are playing. So I can understand why that didn't really work out. But we've had a few good examples of some rank cap stuff. What's up, Zynex? But we had a few examples of some decent rank cap stuff over the time. Yeah, I can start with the obvious one. But one thing I'm gonna try and talk about a bit today are tiered tournaments. I'll talk more about what I'm speaking about in a bit if you're not aware. But yeah, first, we have, and for some reason for TAWS and UC, all I'm pulling up are their money spreadsheets. But yeah, the two big like normal things that you have here, you have Underdogs Cup. This one's a given. Caboozled is Mr. Famous in the Tetrio community, or one of the Mr. Famouses. And this is his tournament. Pretty cool stuff. Oh wait, I forgot. This is where the spreadsheet starts. But my hair. But yeah, UC is very successful at marketing by having a simple brand. I think TAWS has that same factor too. TAWS also like makes their stuff pretty community accessible. Like their goal is building a community around tournaments, not building tournaments around the community. I think that's a decent way to put it, actually. Like, a lot of people build tournaments around the community, but TAWS builds a community around tournaments. I haven't heard anyone put it like that before, but I think that's a pretty good way to explain it. To explain how TAWS operates kind of differently with, like, frequency or whatever. What's up, Glitchy? What's up, Combo? But yeah, UC is just, like, was the front runner. It was the first tournament to implement this sort of, like, rank cap stuff. Very, very good news. I hope to see more of these again. UC 16 was, I don't remember what happened, if I'm being honest. Like, the only date of a UC that I remember is the first one because I played in it and I was on a vacation in Florida, and I was playing on a MacBook with the BAL, or a rhythm game controller. I don't play rhythm games. I bought it for Switch Tetris, but I use it. It has mechanical switches. So that's that's the only date of UC that I remember. I don't even remember the one that I commentated, just because there are so many of them. Like, I don't remember the dates of any Tetrio Cups, even though I've commentated a couple of them too. I streamed one of them. I don't even remember the day of that. So it's just when it gets past a certain point, I forget the dates that they're in. The notable exception for a long-staying event series are all the PCOs that I've done. I remember the days once for those, but it's been that long. Welcome, Combo. About the content. But yeah, this is a quick recap on UC, and TAWS happens every week. They do a bunch for charity. They're pretty cool. You know, they're economical. They give out a lot of supporter, man. Give out a lot. I don't even think they update this too. But yeah, I think the most recognizable thing. So, my favorite type of rank cap tournament is the tiered tournament. You'll see it here. The biggest player in a tiered tournament kind of mindset is Tetralympic. Tetralympic has 4 brackets. This is out of order. Tetralympic has 4 brackets in order of your rank range. So you have one for up to... Okay, so you have one starting at S-. Thank God they put it on here. Then SS, U, and X. U and X. This has a floor and a cap, which is pretty interesting. I mean, all of them have caps. But these are my favorite. These are my favorite tournaments. I think in Tetria, my favorite tournaments are ones that are operated like this, because it engages a good portion, if not most, of the player base that actively checks the game, and that's just pretty cool to me. So that's one thing that I think is great about Tetra Olympic. Another thing that's interesting about Tetra Olympic is it gives a kind of higher level players a chance to play against the Masters or compete in their own division, which I think was a really interesting choice. We'll see, obviously, which one more of them opted for. But, yeah, this is a great tournament. Happened over nearly a year and a half ago. But they had one last June. But yeah, I like these events a lot. I think they're the best Tetria events because, and I'll wait until I talk about Prism to get into it. Then we have Prism. Prism is my favorite iteration of this idea so far. So Prism didn't have a rank floor or cap necessarily. How Prism worked is all brackets were split evenly into fourths. So 160 nearly people signed up. So you had 4 40-player brackets that were seeded into skill divisions, which I think is I think that's pretty cool. And I didn't watch this. Who ended up winning? This is a relatively interesting top 8. I'm gonna say one of them of all time. But you had Promo in first, Fortisim in second. Fortisim resetting the bracket. But then that second grand set from Promo was kind of brutal. But yeah, good stuff. And then you have the other brackets. It was much cooler when you realized most of the bracket formations were done manually. That I could tell how it had to be done manually with the current bot tech we have right now, but that's like kind of besides the point. I think that a version of Prism is going to be the best rank cap tournament, and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit here. So if you divide like stuff evenly in numbers, you could see a bit of skill diff there. I'm sure they did a little bit of manual moving around, but I think the best rank cap tournament that we're gonna see is going to be a hybrid of the Tetra Olympic and Prism methods. We just talked about TECWC. The problem with TECWC, and I'll get into it later, this is kind of more Tetria focused talk, just intrinsically because rank cap tournaments mainly exist on Tetria. But the problem with TECWC is that it was asynchronous and it lacked moderation. Which, I mean, shoutouts to our boy Shen, he did his best, but one man, 900 players, even asynchronous, is kind of hell on earth. So, like, I feel bad for our boy. My brother from Ohio. Yeah. But, yeah, that term was cool in a different way. And I think I'll definitely have a talk dedicated to it. Maybe when it gets announced again, because I've been, we're doing these weekly. But, yeah. Prism also did a cool thing and raised $300 Dude, why I put my camera in the weird spot? I'm going on the bottom today. Raised $300 in its prize pool, even without a partnered Matcherino account, which is pretty crazy. Shouts to all these donators. The prize pools are cool. They also do I like this kind of incentive for a tournament like this. Um it's just pretty good to kind of energize people without having to put yourself into like too many big goals, you know? Like I'm a big fan of this way of making it happen. And yeah, prize pool is dedicated to the pink bracket top cut, just like Tetralympic S30 Master was. Overall, I love these tiered tournaments because you can rank cap a tournament like UC. If you rank cap a tournament like UC, it's gonna get a lot of viewers and support from like the original player base. But what it's not going to get is it's not going to energize more casual players into viewing a top cut bracket. One thing that I like about the idea of Prism and Tetralympic is if you're playing in Prism and you know you're in like a lower cut bracket, you're playing in Tetralympic, you're in a lower cut bracket, you're just gonna have a higher likelihood if you're like on the very broader casual side, like you coming from the banner, you just play Tetrio and you're like, oh, I want to try out competing. Why not? By automatically integrating all the brackets under one umbrella, you're creating a lot of passive discovery for your live stream. And let me do a little bit of just like random fucking research here. I don't know why I didn't look at this beforehand. Okay, yeah, Prism had a lot of fucking viewers, okay? Or Prism had more viewers, a considerable amount more. I'm gonna rephrase the sentence. Prism had a considerable amount more viewers than the last popularized H-Nest event. So we see here at under 18 peak, 81 average viewers, which for a 300 follower channel, that's pretty good. And if we look, the last big thing that H-Nest did was of course Iris. Iris had 80 peak, 60 average viewers, so it's about the same like thing. And that's the thing that's always going to start about rank caps, and I'm about to talk about that. I'm kind of just I'm hitting the positives right now. Shouts to the music category, by the way. But yeah, it does bring a lot of passive reach for the pro brackets, which you can you see if especially in Tetralympic. Tetralympic got a lot of people to watch it. It had a really good branding as well. Skylar was running it. I was kind of stepping away from things right now. Hopefully I see an event like that come back soon. Perhaps if I torture myself, I'll come up with something. But because I wanted to experiment with that kind of format. But I don't know. I have a lot of shit to do. God damn it. I have a lot of shit to do, and it ain't a tiered Tetrio bracket, so we'll see what happens. But now that I've talked about the big pro of tiered brackets, let's talk about the big con. Hey, shoutouts to all you Tetrio users that make alt accounts. Just kidding. Fuck you. God damn it. I'm gonna tell a little bit of a side anecdote here before I just go into the more obvious ripping on alt users. One time I was seeding either like an early Tetrio or a Gestures tournament, and I'm asking someone like, "Hey, does this look good?" And I sent them like a screenshot of top 16 on my Google Sheet or whatever, and it was like, yeah, that looks pretty good. And like seed 20 was, I forgot who, seed 20 was like someone's fucking alt or account that they didn't play ranked often on. So their snapshot, it's not even like they intentionally smurfed, it's just their snapshot when I was able to get it was like down here, and then they played ranked a day before the tournament to warm up, and they just went up. Like it's crazy, man. But let me show this again. Be back. Alright, I've reappeared. Okay, so the thing that I was gonna talk about with Prism is I think Prism's design is harder to it's harder to smurf. Just from the level of like you're not advertised like each division's going to be what I was about to say X letter rank, but that doesn't I have to say like Y. It's gonna be like Y letter ranked. And that's the floor in the cap. Because you kind of don't fucking know I don't fucking know how low to go. Of course, you can obviously still smurf and just guesstimate on your own, but it's just like, it's harder to, it's harder to kind of figure out where you want to top in at if you want to smurf. And of course, alt accounts gonna be alt accounts. Like some like big guy can just alt account it like fucking get like minimum or maximum U and then just coast for a hot minute. But I think in this setting, it kind of makes the process less obvious to the smurfer. Do you think capping rank at the time of tournament announcement versus tournament start helps with... Oh, it absolutely fucking does. No doubt about it. Like, if you cap the rank before it was ever announced, then you're good. Then you run into another problem, which is more seldom than smurfing, but you run in the problem of, what if someone gets really fucking good in 3 weeks? That's the problem you run into. And it happened in Star Cup for Genesis, which was the last like big rank cap tournament that I ran at scale, or at least for single player. That happened. Someone at the time of when we snapshotted ranks was like seed 33. And this is different than the seed 20 thing I was talking about earlier, by the way. They're seed 33. And when you checked their versus score compared to the top player, they should have been seed 6. Which, admittedly, we weren't using a letter cap, we were using a TR cap, so I had to do some jank shit for the technology. Meaning, I manually prevented signing up, for some accounts from Google Sheets. This is pretty fun. But, yeah. That obviously does help a lot. Like, if you cap a UC, like, 7 days before it's announced, which might be pushing it, but, let's say you cap a UC 7 days before it's announced, no one's gonna know to smurf it unless they just had the gut feeling like, shit, it's been 6 months, UC 96 is coming up, I want to win $70. Yeah, and then they go on and do that. But that's just fucking insanity behavior right there. I'm sure at least one of those people do exist. But it's just like, what the fuck can you do about that unless you detect it live? The thing about amateur brackets is they're always going to get smurfed. You can minimize the amount of smurfs, but you will never eradicate them, you know? And that's just something we need to accept, you know? And we already do a good job at not incentivizing the smurfing part by only giving money to the top cut bracket, which the only thing you can do in a top cut bracket is smurf your seeding, and that's a bit easier to detect than smurfing a whole rank cap. They are like cockroaches. That's the simplest way to explain it. Just like, what can you do? You can get rid of them for a short amount of time, or just live. Like, it's a problem you can't solve. too bad that TOs have to be worried about a few bad actors first, and the vast majority of participants have to play an attorney with people around. Yeah, of course. You know, one bad fruit can spoil the entire bunch in this case, man. It's awful. I hate it. But there isn't much we can really do about it, you know? We're just trying our best. I know there was a group of people, or there at least was a group of people, who kind of got mad at ads for cracking down on smurfing very hard in his server. But it's like, what's he supposed to do? Let you fuckers play? Or, like, do we ban you? Like, what? Are we just supposed to let the Smurfs play and then ban them? Or ban people who look like Smurfs? Like, it's just... It's reactionary versus, like, preventative action. And preventative action is always the best. It's always gonna be that way. What's up, T-Flat? Big Misty. So it's just like... You have to be hard on Smurfs. You have to be very paranoid, but you're never going to catch everyone. It is a high effort, low reward thing. But the low reward is still very important. It is very, very important. Like, even if you can remove one Smurf and there is still one in the bracket, still made that experience just that bit better, you know? It's like, it's an unfixable problem. And they probably won't become the mainstay. Like, tier tournaments won't become the mainstay. I just would love to see a few of them occur regularly throughout the year. Because that appeal of direct involvement from a more casual person into watching the stream, seeing the octane, getting hyped up, is a form of exposure that can only be generated in this way. Of course, you can get people in from YouTube videos and whatever, but you can target a very specific niche audience of people who just hop on Tetrio, they play a few games in queue, they play a few games in quick play. You can advertise to those people if your tiered event is notable enough to become bannered. You can appeal to those people and get them into competitive if they wouldn't watch YouTube, if they wouldn't join Discords, you know? Without this catalyst. UC brought a lot of those people in just by existing itself without a higher tier to it. Now that we have a higher tier, I think tiered tournaments are going to be even better at bringing people in than a TOS or a UC. And I guess one thing to bring up is TOS tier tournament that's coming up, Tetrio Ignite. Very, very cool event. That's another reason why I wanted to talk about this, because Prism just happened and another one's about to happen again. Like, we're seeing more tiered tournaments, we're seeing more people interested in this format, and I'm really happy about it. I think it can bring good things to Tetrio and to the fast Tetris space. Like, it's very good for this. The most notable tournaments definitely will still be the open events, like the IO Cups and the Journeys. But these have a very important place too. And I just I mainly wanted to make this video because I don't want tiered events to become an underrated format, you know? I kind of want to stress how important this is so they get the respect they deserve, and internally within our community they get the push to become big so more of them can get bannered and bring more people into this ecosystem that we're building from this extra avenue of exposure. We were talking about exposure a bit in the earlier discussion videos, and directly from tournaments itself, tiered brackets, or specifically from the Tetrio side, are a great way to do that. You also see it with like the TECWC, but course, for a game like TE or PBT, this is way harder to logistically run. Because the ranked mode doesn't have APIs you can pull from, and it doesn't have, like, you know, a very, very comprehensive system with, like, if you're off for this long, you're unranked and all that stuff. So that was just the main point of this video. I want to give tiered tournaments the spotlight they deserve. Because they're a really great idea. Tetra Olympics sort of laid this foundation. Now that's not happening as much, we're laying on it with Tetra Ignite and with Iris, and we're seeing new takes on the format. I rarely see X rank split into multiple brackets, even though by glitch code that would make some sense in cap tournaments. What are your thoughts on that? So the problem with that is, at least at the current amount of people we can attract, splitting high X and low X does not make much sense. Because if we put high, like, let's say, if the Prism pink bracket was limited by high X, let's say 24,900 and above, this player count of 43 would probably drop to, if I'm guessing correctly, I don't have the player list for this event memorized, it would probably drop to at most 12 players. And Tato's just said that in a more, like, less serious way. What kept turning so maybe we have the top tier. Reason why I think tiered events is so powerful is because you can have the functionality of a capped bracket existing with the attraction and the high octane of a normal open tournament. You have a 2-in-1 effectively, and it takes more work, but it provides more reward, especially with how well Tetra Olympics marketed. It's just hard to do, man. So I'm gonna ask a question here. For next time I want to bring up about rank cap tournaments, amateur tournaments. How many of you were around for when WPL Tetra Open was being ran? How many of you remember seeing WPL Tetra Open banners, watching them, or playing in them? How many of you remember that? That's just something I'm curious about. I'll wait and see if we get a few responses. Some win. I'll just give you a hint. It's almost been 2 years. So I was mainly asking because I don't know if what I'm about to say is going to be anything anyone remembers here, which is kind of crazy. So a few WPL Tetra Opens had a rookie bracket. Is anyone here aware about how that works? Because these are fairly common in the FGC. So I was just wondering if anyone knows how they're working or how they work. It's also a good excuse for me to eat. Alright, so basically, rookie brackets were like a there's a system where if you went 0-2 or 1-2 in the tournament, you could opt in to get placed in another bracket. And this bracket would just be for who of the tournament who basically gets entirely knocked out in the first round. The FGC rolls these through on a lot of online tournaments. One of your followers of Tampa Never Sleeps, they do these on every Guilty Gear Strive tournament, and maybe others as well. I've always thought, like, is this a good way to implement a taste of the rank capness on a major open event? And of course, with every format where you're limiting people to a certain skill tier, you're gonna see smurfing. But again, smurfing in this bracket can be detected, and you know, they get fucking banned if they do it. But I just wondered if that idea is like anything that anyone would be interested in. Let me see if I can pull one of them up. It's really been so fucking long. May 29th will mark 2 years since the last WPL Tetria Open. Had 372 players, man. Find this. So they did it for the TEC Open. You know how weird this is? You know how weird it is to see the rookie bracket of one of the WPL TEC Opens? Is you have people like Other Element and fucking Davo in it, man. And now they're like so good. Crazy. I also think these are just a cool way to mark progression, you know? Like, you know, seeing how much better Davo has been getting and like all these other people. It's just kind of like a time capsule of that, you know? Time capsule that kind of result. So that's something I think is also cool about it. Listen, this time it seemed like people were like relatively good. They didn't smurf on purpose or anything. Remember playing Moose in Tier 2 Zone Battle? Damn. Yeah, TECWC also does have that tiered system, but I guess I could talk about it a bit here. It's like, you know, the fact that it's asynchronous, I think, really kills it. Like, so many people just don't show up after a certain amount of time. Which is why I always think leagues are king for asynchronous. Like your Bankai leagues, Salty Cups, Tag Cups, Ultimas. They didn't already say Ultima Cup. Ultimate Cup's a huge example for TEC. Ultimate Cup's amazing. I always say this. I'll say this no matter what comes around. If you're a player, if you're a TEC player, Ultimate Cup's your best tournament experience. That's it. It's your best. It will be your most fun. It's the best. It's the best player experience for a TEC tournament. Period. Ultimate Cup. I loved it. I loved playing in the first one. Ultimate Cup's amazing. I haven't played in any of the subsequent ones because of time, but for the next one I might just say fuck it and like literally kill other obligations to be sure I can play. I miss it a lot. I really do think Ultima is the best player experience you can have online. Hate that I lost to Edge and got second. Ah, shit. I beat Moose and I beat QMK, man. Can't ever take that. You can't ever take those victories away from me. Even though I think they both beat me. I think they both beat me up now. But I haven't really played TEC in 6 months. It really is. Every time I say this, like I know I'll get shade for it by some people, but I had more fun playing in Ultima Cup than I did playing at LANs. Like Ultima Cup is my top experience. And I know other people like are gonna love the LAN experience more than anything online could offer, but I liked Ultima Cup more. That's how I feel. I've only said this a handful of times. It's been like over the course of the 2 years. You know? But I really fucking liked Ultima Cup. I really. But yeah, I mean, listen, after I beat QMK, I kind of have to retire. It's not gonna get any better. And we could just act like Fortissim did not absolutely dust my ass right out. I mean, we could act like that didn't happen. Upset of the year. Go. My proudest Tetris accomplishment is fucking... Who had, I think, a total of hours of zone battle compared to my 600. Good times. Good times. But the summary I think of this is ranked cap tournaments are great at getting new people into the game. Really good at that. Tiered tournaments I think are the best. Prism, Tetra Olympic, stuff like that. Might want to see rookie brackets be brought back. They're pretty interesting. And be a good faith rank cap tournament player, and don't fucking ruin this shit. I'm scared to host another doubles tournament because I think I got a fluke with the first 2x2 at trio doubles. I literally think it was a fluke that I happened to not run into anyone bad, really. Like from what I've heard or from what people have given feedback to me, that event seemed pretty clean. In terms of where people were placed. So that had to do with the fact that the rank caps themselves were like high, and which originally 2x2 was an S and U rank cap tournament in its first stage of planning, and then I thought about it for about 30 minutes and I was like, that won't work. That won't work for the galactic indie resources. We're gonna have to move that shit up a little bit. And you can argue that X and U is more smurfable. But people are just good at the time of that event. I think after like all the shit that was going down, like with the furry stuff and all that, like people were just good faith actors during that time. Yeah, I went to Las Vegas in January. My mom got married there, so I went for about a week. It was a good time. Even though I obviously didn't gamble or any of that. There's a lot of cool stuff in Nevada. Not specifically in the Las Vegas area. I didn't really have any fun in the city. But I went outside the city a little bit, and it was a good time. But yeah. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year. Like, I will lap the amount of times I've went on vacation before this year. This year with how many trips I'm taking. I got drunk in Vegas and caught COVID. Now that's a story right there. I did not get drunk in Vegas, obviously. I did not get COVID in Vegas, thankfully. Good moves. Before the vaccine, yeah, it makes sense. My family goes on vacations primarily for food. That's based. I primarily go on vacations for sightseeing. Except for this one. So I went to Vegas. I'm going to Anaheim in 2 weeks. Then I'm going to New Jersey in 3 months. New Jersey and New York City. And then I'm going to Canada later this year. That's 4 trips. Previously, I've taken 2. So I'm doubling the amount of vacations I've flown for in 1 year. The only thing I gambled in Vegas was my life. Listen, the only thing I gambled in Vegas was the bond with my grandmother, because her and I were not getting along. Alright, on that trip. We're going there for the Toronto tournament or something else. I don't know if we're supposed to talk about the Toronto tournament, though. It's pretty much open in the air, but yeah. I'll cut this out of the video, but yeah, it's for the Toronto tournament, but I'm staying afterwards. I'm staying for another like 5 days. Well, I'm hoping. So I'll be there, because I also want to take my dad for his birthday. Is like the thing. Like, I'd love that's what I'd love to do. So I just think it would be a good time. Because, like, there's so much to do in that area. I want to do, like, stuff on a boat. I want to go around. It's just, like, it's pretty cool. And I might try and take my cousin as well. The problem with that is he'll be 18, but he'll still be in high school. So it'll just be kind of hard to plan that, you know? But I'd love to take him as well. He's been wanting to go to a LAN tournament with me for a while, specifically like the Columbus stuff, because it's just easy for him. But yeah, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm traveling a lot this year. I'm gonna book my New Jersey thing in a few weeks after I go to California. I'm pretty excited for that. I've never been to Cali before. I don't know if I'll have an excuse to go again. Because I don't know if I'll routinely attend WPL SoCal if it ever comes back. Because, my California trip is academic related, which I don't know if I've talked about that on stream, but yeah, some school stuff's happening there and I got selected to go, so that's why I'm going. The only reason why I'd be able to make it out that far and to California, which is pretty expensive, is because I'm not paying. So that's pretty good. There are some plans in the future that are more expensive than that I do have to pay for. So boys, with that, I want that Twitch sub button up there. Any primes, please, man. Please. West Coast Xeno would be cool. And if at that point in my life, if it wouldn't kill my bank account, I'd go out to run it. Thank you, Zodix. It'll be my first time in Cali. Then I'm going to Disneyland. Be pretty fun. Listen, I'm about October. I'd probably be thinking about booking all this stuff. You know, I'm gonna shed a couple tears. Because I will just say this much, because I'm not spoiling anything specific, but international is fucking expensive. Especially at the point where I'm not working full time right now. And I don't know if I will be even at that point. Because like if I do get a full-time job, I also need enough days to take off. Yeah, listen, man. I wish I could have had a job in that industry too. Can I talk about what you have? Yeah. I don't think this says too much, but Moose used to work for an airline, and then he stopped. And Moose has like probably, I don't know. Let's just say, well, more than enough of flight benefits. And every time I Google a plane ticket price, I need to go to the hospital for heart palpitations. Yeah, that's why I said way more than enough. It's 10 years, man. It's 10 years. Moose will almost be as old as my dad is right now by the time those expire. So, alright, I wouldn't wait either, man. I've been looking for more different kinds of work recently. It's honestly been really interesting. But we'll see what happens. I still have a few years. I have some college stuff to finish. Even though I have some dual credit stuff from high school. They'll have to take about a year and a half worth of classes to get anything out of it, so I'm gonna do that. And then after that, please, esports industry, please be solid. Or please, whatever I end up doing, whatever creative related industry, please, not IT, please be solid. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Like, I'm just hoping that I get lucky. And I hope I get lucky where, like, I can find, an esports job, and the home rates fucking go down, so I can live somewhere without paying out of the ass. You know? Yeah, you don't know, you want to buy a house right now, the interest rate is really high. And that means all the landlords are like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." And then, you know, they're raising rent. So, and there are other reasons why rent's going up. But, like, if I had to move out now of my parents' places, like, shit. Like, god damn it. And I live in a pretty good area for property, too. Like, stuff isn't very highly or overvalued here. Like, the home market where I live is pretty cheap. It is still rougher than average. Funky boat. That was so true. So, Dota, I know exactly how Dota's money works. It's pretty simple. For like an entire competitive period of the international qualifiers and the international, a pretty decent percentage of anything you buy related to Dota 2 from Valve goes to the prize pool. It's basically crowdfunding. And why people put so much value in League, I don't understand, but I also don't get the appeal of League of Legends as a video game. So, without an answer as simple as Valve puts in a lot of money from the sales, supporting esports industry around it, my theory is like, you know, Dota, like, big money, and Valve spend money on Dota, so people are gonna circle around it. And Riot invested a lot into League, so I just think it's the same thing. Yeah, I was actually talking about this in a group chat earlier. If publishers are smart, they use esports as marketing. It's like, the most direct way you can think about how they bring in extra revenue from esports is team skins. Like, if you like watching League competitively, you're gonna buy League skins for your favorite team, or Rocket League skins for your favorite team. And that is revenue that would not exist otherwise. Because it's not like, you know, like, the NFL is not gonna sell fucking NFL cups with the NFL logo on it, or like a football design on it, without like the 49ers existing and being a team and selling team merch, you know? If I hear any one of you owning generic NFL merch that's not really appropriated to a team, good for you, but why did you buy that? Like, I don't even think that exists. Like, I can't imagine somebody walking around with a shirt with just the NFL logo on the front of it. Yeah, just like a cap that just has NFL on it. And of course, like, I know team caps have it. You know, like, for instance, like, if you have a Detroit Tigers hat, it's going to have the MLB logo on the back. But, like, imagine if someone had a hat that just had the NFL logo on the front and the back. Like, that's so wacky. Like, hold on. Oh yeah, the NFL theme. Dude. Dude. The fuck is gonna buy this? Like, who's gonna wear this, man? Like, so, the difference between, like, PK and this is, like, the purpose of PK is to have an attractive brand. Like, the purpose of the NFL is not to promote the NFL brand. It's to promote all the teams, you know, because it's a league. This is as weird as PK selling ad tag here merch, which is the other way around. But I know someone would actually buy a shirt with Tag's face on it. No one's buying this. We can sell ad tag here. We could. You guys know that image of Amamiya in the bear onesie? I'd buy that. I'd buy that on a shirt, man. You guys don't know how hard that would go. Oh wait, son, you want an embroidered tag shirt? Show the pic. I gotta find it. And you know what Twitter account I'm going for. We're going to Basoy. Wait, the images aren't loading. This is a scam. All the shirts with the info on the tags, printed, whatever, on the fabric. Yeah, Basoy has a Twitter. That's how this all started. Like, you know, we got our boy here on the banner. Just post nonsense. Alright, here we go. And we made it, boys. Fucking made it. We made it. uh 20. That's still the... Oh, let's go. Labeled and everything. What? Why? Bro, milling got too fucking expensive, man. Classic. My plonks. How did I not see this fucking tweet? Oh yeah, wait, did we scroll? Yeah, the Dazer blush. That's not the best Dazer one. I wonder if we'll find it. There's a better Dazer picture. There it is. There it is. I fucking love this for no reason. I fucking love Dazer. These are so good. Bro, Game Scout did Team TSD so dirty. Does anyone remember that? I mean, yeah, true. Goddamn. Daytona walls. Yeah. Do I talk about the Team TSD incident? Of what happened when Team TSD raided the stream? Does anyone know about this? Alright, so basically what happened is, so a Game Scout got raided, he's playing Classic, right? And he's like, hey, Team STD, thanks for the raid. and then he keeps playing. It's awful. That's all that happened. Yeah, it was just a misread, but the killer's the like that's the killer. Bro. James Shen's got that Evo ego, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I think Sharky's such a G. It's because he interacts with us and he's worked with us. Oh yeah, that too. Did he go to MTS for the Classic? Sharky and Shen are bangers. Shen was always kind of in our camp, but Sharky's like hard dialed in Classic, you know? And working with us has been a G. Where Shen's like in both. So he understands both. Yeah, Sharky's been doing a lot of big stuff since Square One. Sharky's really cool. I've talked to him on a couple occasions after Square One 2022. And it's been really cool. He's even watched some of these discussion videos. If there's anyone that can do it, it's him. I think Sharky is the biggest individual TO with like the most drive. Van Dweller does a lot as well, but it's not like you know, it's not as much as Sharky does just like on his own. Because Van Dweller has so many contributors he can use to those CTM streams, where Sharky's doing a lot of work on his own. It's really cool stuff. Probably the most driven Classic TO, I think. He's also good at Sharky's just good on air. I think he'd be good with a lot of games. Not just specifically modern. I just think he's really good on air. You know? Yeah. That's how I know a lot of stuff too. Is I was gonna talk about this when we were talking earlier, but I feel like I can talk right now. You guys know that I wouldn't be a TO if Fortnite didn't exist? Because like I followed esports before that. But watching how Fortnite tournaments were executed by when like it was still grassroots, is how I got interested in the logistics and stuff of esports and tournaments. And that's how and then that slowly evolved into what you have today out of me. So, pretty interesting fact. But yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't call Fortnite an inspiration. It was just a catalyst for my interest. My inspiration is definitely FGC stuff. because it's very directly comparable to what I'm trying to do. I'm a lot more modest in like what my goals are, because I don't look up to LCS and I'm like, I want to make my shit into the LCS or Tetris or whatever. Like, I don't think of that. I'm just like, I mainly look at the FGC to see how they make their stuff sustainable, because they're in the boat where it's like we're pretty like down to earth. We're pretty, you know, community focused, and they didn't find a lot of money, but they found money, and they found ways to generate revenue sources, all that. So that's just been my thing, because my interests have shifted over the years. It was into like production and how to make stuff look good, and I started learning that, and then I started working with other people who can do that. There's like stream logistics, and then when I learned everything I wanted to do with that, at least so far, when I get into LAN, I'm gonna pivot back into that. Now I think of like, I want to make that. I know what I'm doing will never be sustainable. I want to make this as sustainable as possible, especially now that I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start caring about the amount of money I spend on this stuff. I'm definitely not gonna stop spending money on it. I have to start caring more. The older I get, the more shit I'm gonna have to pay for. I was pretty lucky that I had a period where I didn't have to worry about paying for anything else. Which is pretty cool. Like, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream, but like, before I started doing a lot of stuff at PK, I had a pretty solid job. And then just to devote more time to it and to just relax more, because I don't have many expenses. I quit my job and I just used anything that I need to spend on PK coming from my Twitch earnings from PK and from this channel. And I think about it, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that again. You know? I don't know if I'll ever be able to solely focus on Puzzle Kingdom for 6 months ever again. And during the time it was tight, because of course I wanted to invest more and more personally, but I think in the end it's one of the smartest things I ever did. Because if I had to focus on doing that job every week and then getting tired, as a result, I would have put less time than just the amount of time that I spent working each week into it. I just would have needed to rest. And while the job I have is physically easy, it's very mentally exhausting. Especially when like kids break rules and then I have to file up fucking reports and all of that stuff. Like, it's just, man. That's one thing I'd say I'm glad I did. Is I'm glad I took that time to focus on just this. It's definitely some of the most fun I've ever had doing. I didn't have any other worry other than this. Really cool. I like this thing from Moose as well. I was inspiration of wrestling. I was winding up with the two best players ever together. It's just like a broader form. Of course, they are influenced in different ways. And it is happening. The people who are viewed as the two best players and then a bunch of the other best players of different numbers are in this tournament. Square One lineup this year is crazy. I don't really know how we pulled it off, honestly. It was very lucky. I'm gonna reveal this, but not very long before we announced, we didn't have Akashi Robo and we didn't have Uyoshoda. So the fact that we were able to bring them on, I'm very happy about it. Definitely lucky. But luck still does need preparation to meet the opportunity. All to come together, but it's a good fucking lineup. So I just hope it goes over well. Hope we do a good job. I'm not gonna do a good job, but I guess I hope we do a great job. Maybe be a little. But with that, I don't know if I have anything more to talk about today. Got the main discussion out of the way, and then, you know, talked for quite a while longer. I'm going to find somebody to raid. If you want to be on this next week, see any of the other stuff I do here. Sound bad. Oh yeah, I'm gonna rest up today. I was thinking of playing Pac-Man World Repack after this, but I'm gonna save it for a weekend stream. Have some school. But still doing this every week. But yeah, again next Wednesday with another discussion. Be talking about whatever I come up with 15 minutes before I make a tweet. And yeah, enjoy the Arya stream. People in there. Arya's is a cool person. Make emotes and stuff. See you all around. Have a good one.